One of the tools needed against the Sentients, including in the new war, is a Necromech. It hits like a brick and flies like one too. It also kind of looks like a corn on the cob, but let's not dwell on cosmetics. Of the two available, Voidrig is the easier one to access and more than enough for all Necromech content. So how do you get a Voidrig, and how do you use it? I'm Nick Engineer, let's solve a practical problem. Just a quick note as we dive in on this topic, if this isn't your first time on the YouTube channel, consider subscribing. It's free, notifies you sooner of new uploads, and lets me know you appreciate the content I'm putting out. If however this is your first time watching these guides, then welcome. Let's learn about the Voidrig. To use a Necromech, you obviously need to get access to them. Make sure you complete the Heart of Deimos and the War Within quests in order to access the Necroloid Syndicate. You will also need to reach rank 2 with the Necroloid Syndicate to obtain the Voidrig blueprint. As for the components, you can trade them from other players fully constructed, or you can trade the broken parts from players and fix them up yourself, or go farm the whole thing on your own. Fixing up the parts requires material blueprints unlocked from rank 1 with the Solaris, rank 2 with the Ostrons, and rank 2 with the Intrati. Or again, you can trade for the materials from other players. As for the damaged Necromech parts themselves, these drop from enemy Necromechs found during Isolation Vault bounties. Each enemy Necromech has a 50% chance to drop a Necromech part, evenly split between the 4 parts, and the maximum number of Necromech enemies you can face per mission is the 3 of them on the 3rd tier vault. Now assuming that everyone runs tier 3 bounties for the maximum number of Necromech spawns, just shy of 1 in 20 people will get all 4 damage parts they need in just 2 runs. Nearly 1 in 5 people will be set in 3 runs, with just over half of everybody having a complete set in 5 runs. But as with all RNG drops, there are going to be some people less fortunate. Roughly 1 in 10 players will be needing over 9 runs, 1 in 100 players will be needing over 15 runs, and just shy of 1 in 1,000 players will still not have a full Necromech set in 21 runs of Isolation Vaults. Whichever way you choose to go about it, you get your Necromech parts together, and then construct your Necromech with the blueprint purchased from Lloyd. Or, to skip the farm, the resources, the player trading, and the build time, you can just purchase a fully built Voidrig from the market for Platinum. Now, you have your Necromech, complete with a pre-installed Mortallon Archgun. It's one of, if not the most effective of all Archguns in the entire game, and usable anywhere you can take any other Archgun. Put your Necromech summon option onto your gear wheel, give it a hotkey too if you wish, and you're set. Let's have a look at what your brand new kit actually does. The Voidrig Necromech has 4 abilities with energy costs, just like normal Warframes. The first ability gives you a canister to throw when ready at a target area. If the canister lands, it creates a slowing field for enemies caught in it. This even works against the Tusk Thumpers on the plains of Eidolon. However, if you shoot the canister, or hit the slowing zone with AoE damage, the slow effect is removed and instead you cause a damaging explosion. The damage is not that impressive at the levels where Necromechs are used, so it can mostly be ignored. The second ability is Storm Shroud, deploying a protective layer that functions like Rhino's Iron Skin, except with a little bit of reflect damage added on. The protection scales with incoming damage, making you able to resist significant assault into higher level missions. Do be aware though that nullifiers coming into contact with the Necromech will completely wipe out this defense and any other abilities you have active. The third ability deploys a series of explosive charges in a nearby area. The range is small, the damage is smaller, and you can generally forget this ability exists. Finally, you have the Voidrig's 4th ability, Guard Mode. This turns the Voidrig immobile and unable to cast any other ability, while also activating the exalted weapon, the Archibex. The Archibex fires an arcing projectile with incredible damage. And when I say incredible, I mean a radial explosion of over 1.3 million damage per shot with the build I'll be showing you in a bit, and you fire just over 5 of these shots every single second. The only counter to that damage output is being invulnerable. Everything else just dies. Now the Voidrig comes with 12 mod slots available to fill, and 3 innate polarities to accommodate those mods, one each of V, D and Dash. When you first get your Necromech to level 30, and assuming you've added an Orokin reactor, you will still not be able to fill all of those slots right away. Instead, each additional former added to the Voidrig will increase its maximum level, and therefore maximum capacity, up by 2, to a maximum of level 40. This makes the Void Rig rather costly to max out. Because of that, I'll show you builds for everywhere from 0 to 6 former, so you can choose how much you want to put into your Void Rig without guessing at an intermediate build. For brevity's sake, I'm not going to say the word Necromech for each and every mod that goes on the Void Rig, so just bear in mind that you do need their specific mods and not the similarly named Warframe mods. Starting with 0 former, there are some absolute must-have mods to help make your Void Rig as effective as possible out of the gate. Vitality and Steel Fibre will significantly bolster your health tank. Flow will give you a much higher energy maximum to play with, while Thrusters doubles your engine capacity for hovering, sliding and sprinting. You hover by holding aim while you're in the air, causing a slow rate of descent. Sprint is as normal, and you can dash by tapping sprint, then quickly pressing and holding it again. Release sprint when you're ready to stop the dash. The mod Streamline will make all abilities cheaper to cast, which is needed for maintaining energy economy. And finally, Rage and Repair are crucial to keeping your Void Rig operational long term. Repair allows your Void Rig to repair itself substantially when its health gets low, while Rage turns health damage into energy. This creates a cycle of healing and energy restoration that is absolutely necessary when the going gets tough. By combining these with your second ability, Storm Shroud, you can give your Necromech time for repair to come off of cooldown before taking health damage again, and use the energy from taking damage to recast more Storm Shrouds. Now this is only the start of what you can achieve, using up just 7 of your 12 slots. With your first former, you can add in Intensify. While the mod actually has limited use overall, and for some reason it doesn't boost the damage of the Archiveks, the main purpose is for increasing the strength of Storm Shroud by 30%, both for the initial hit points and incoming damage conversion. This allows you to tank more efficiently, both protecting your energy reserves and giving you more firing time in the Archiveks without having to unsiege to recast your defense ability. With your remaining 4 mod slots, we move into the more optional choices. Of the various potential mods remaining, the most useful in my opinion are Hydraulics, Efficiency, Slipstream and Auger. Your second former will allow you to mod in Hydraulics for improved jump height. This may not seem like the biggest deal, but the enhanced mobility opens up routes to objectives that would otherwise be slower and more circuitous. Your third former will give you the capacity you need to add in Efficiency for general engine efficiency. This will allow you to slide, sprint and hover for even longer. Again, it's an improvement to your mobility. With your fourth former, you can go one of 2 ways. Either you can make no changes and hold out for the next former, or you can swap out Efficiency for Slipstream. You lose that engine efficiency in favour of a very notable slide speed increase, focusing even further on the mobility enhancement of the Void Rig. This mod doesn't fit on the 3 former build due to Slipstream's increased drain cost. With the 5th former, you can now combine both of these mod choices to have both Efficiency and Slipstream together. And then finally, on the 6th former, we can fill in the final mod slot with Auger. Auger provides only a small amount of shield recovery on casting ability, but it's a recovery which acts as another noticeable defensive barrier due to shield gating, and this can sometimes provide far more value than the minimal hit point gain would suggest. This last mod slot is the most optional of them all. You can replace Auger with either Enemy Sense for enemy radar, say if your companion bites the dust, or Continuity for decreased energy drain whilst you're using the Archiveks. Now, you want to ensure you pair the Void Rig with a suitably strong Archgun and Archiveks. As they're both critical based weaponry, they use very similar builds. The only difference is that for the Archiveks I'd recommend using 3 elemental mods, such as Corrosive Heat or Radiation Cold, while for the Mausolon I recommend using only 2 elemental mods, either for Radiation or Corrosive, and give the extra slot to Quick Reload. Quick Reload halves the wait time before the Mausolon recharges, bringing it down from 4 seconds to 2 seconds, and this will help to keep you in the fight more reliably. Naturally, this doesn't apply to the Archiveks, as the Archiveks doesn't reload. For the damage type on these weapons, you should pick based on your target. If you're fighting the Corpus or Necromechs, go for Radiation. Otherwise, against a Grineer, Infested and Sentience, go for Corrosive. This is to counter the armor type present in each faction. The Grineer have a mix of armor types, meaning you'll be relying on Corrosive to smash half of them down, and then the Corrosive procs to make the other half less painful to address. Or, just hit them with the Archibex, they'll die anyway. If you really need to use less Former on the Archibex or Morzelon, you can remove Quick Reload from the Morzelon or an Elemental Mod from the Archibex, bringing both of them down to only one Former needed. I would strongly advise to invest at least that one Former, as otherwise you'll need to remove a core mod, which will drastically hurt your output. Alright, that wraps it up when it comes to the Void Rig. You've got where and how to get it, how to mod it, and how to gear up its weapons just in time for the new war. If you have found this video helpful, or learned something new, make sure to give it a like and subscribe as well to catch more as it goes live. That's all from me for now though, so as always, get mechs, go wreck, and fight well, Tenno.